I want to dive into the book because there's some fascinating stuff, and people always want to know about the cosmos. They always want to know these things. But first, I got to get your hot take on some things that are happening right now. The first one is artificial intelligence. Now, you have probably known people in the artificial intelligence field for decades. But obviously, ever since December last year, when ChatGPT got on people's minds, now everyone is talking about it. There's billions of dollars going into it. We're actually investing in a company here through London Real Ventures. I've had a bunch of people on, including MIT professor Max Tegmark from Future of Life Institute. I've had Peter Diamandis, another MIT grad as well, who created, I think, Singularity Institute. I've talked a lot about it. What is Lawrence Krauss's take on artificial intelligence?
Well, I'm not as... It's a very useful new technology. And like new technologies, they can go in many different directions. It will change the way we live. It'll change what it means to be human, but so have so many things. I mean, that's what, I'm amazed at the fixation of concern about it. I actually signed on one of the things that said we should hold off with ChatGPT moving past, mostly because I thought it was being trained incorrectly. It was a little too woke. And, but I am more interested in what it can do and fascinated about what it could do. And so I take the long view. Actually, in the end of the book, I talk about AI. And when people talk about how it's going to ruin everything, I'm reminded of going back to ancient Greece, to Plato. Around that time, a little bit before, actually, a few hundred years before, the written language had come in. The Greek alphabet had come in. And around the time of Plato, everyone said that's the end of storytelling. There'll be no more storytelling because of writing, because people won't remember things anymore, and face-to-face really matters. Well, that's true, but writing did destroy storytelling. And AI will change a lot about the way we live. And whether it makes the world much better or much worse is kind of really up to us. Fortune favors the prepared mind. And so you should think about those issues. And there are possibilities that are dystopic. But at the same time, I think at this point, it's much ado about very little, I think. ChatGPT is amazing, but it's not thinking. But what it can do is amazing, and it can be useful. And people are worried that people use it instead of writing, but it can help you. And I suspect there'll be many other areas that AI will help people. And it'll replace jobs, and that's unfortunate, but many things replace jobs. Automation replace jobs. And again, you can imagine a future, which is probably the future, where the people who control AI control all the resources. That's one way it could go. Or it could go in a way where, a lot of people don't have jobs, but the rest of us could spend our time in coffee shops listening to music or reading books, and life would be better. And we can choose that. It is interesting that the jobs that it'll probably replace are the opposite of what people thought. I think people thought about robotics replacing menial jobs. Those are probably more safe than doctors and lawyers, and so it replaces all the lawyers. Well, that's no loss, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, so I have mixed feeling about it, but I think we have to take the long view that every new technology has pluses and minuses, and even smartphones changed what it means to be human. I was just on the tube, and I was reminded. I was talking to a friend yesterday that 20 years ago, I remember when I was in Japan, I'd go on the trains there, and everyone would be staring down at something. It wasn't a smartphone back then, but it was maybe 30 years ago. But they'd all be staring at it. That's just a weird thing. And now you go on the tube, everyone's staring at it. So it's changed what it means to be human. Has it made it worse? Well, in some ways it has, but in other ways, just think of the things you can do that you couldn't do before.
Yeah, it's weird because we can say a lot of bad things about mobile phones, and it keeps you not present, and social media can be toxic. But like on the flip side, I know this, and a bunch of influencers that I know that have been on the show, they said, I've met my best friends on social media, because you find people like you all around the world that normally you would never bump into. And so you can actually make some amazing connections. You can, and I'm always, not that this sounds weird, but I know sometimes when I respond to someone who's written me, they're surprised that they're interacting with me. And it makes their day. That's great. I feel very fortunate about that. But I've had the same thing happen to me.
And it's amazing who you can connect with. That's one of the examples. You can connect directly with people you would never have imagined you'd be able to connect directly to. And this is just one of the small aspects. So yeah, it's changed the world, and it is unfortunate that kids maybe fixate to it, and maybe they don't read so much, and you can all the standard arguments against it. But no, I think AI is fascinating, and it's like quantum computing. Another area, it's going to be fascinating, but it's there's a lot of hype, and I'm always opposed to hype. So in any area of science and technology, and maybe people need hype in order to sell things, and that's okay. But so things are never as the future that people discuss are never as near as the future really is. But the real future, what I love about the real future is you don't anticipate it. That's why when someone says there's a futurist, I don't listen to them. Because it's like science fiction, right? Which I supposedly get asked a lot about because of the physics of Star Trek. We're not driving flying cars right now. All the future that people imagined in the 1950s and 60s, that's not the future. But the internet, which people didn't imagine, is the future. So I like the fact that the future is totally unexpected. It's not knowing. And not knowing makes life exciting. My God, it would be so awful if we knew everything.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.